Okay, guys, we're going to get started. We're going to kind of go through a few key things I want to see everyone doing in the fourth quarter. As most of you guys know, the fourth quarter is actually really the best time to use social media. Traffic is at its all-time high. You know, obviously people are kind of mentally preparing for the holidays, but my point is they're on social media. It's an excellent time to generate referrals. It's an excellent time to post things that are very serious. Obviously in the summer, you know, you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt and not be so serious and not be so business focused. But when the fourth quarter comes, people are in that mindset that they're finishing the year up strong. They want to start the new year strong. It's a time to really get your point across and really, you know, utilize marketing. So we're going to go through kind of two key things with LinkedIn and Facebook, and both are kind of new features, especially the Facebook tip I'm going to give you. The one thing that, you know, I think should remain consistent, and hopefully you guys are doing it, is, you know, the basics of social media are really two things, and I stress it every time I talk now. We're growing our distribution and we're influencing our distribution. Those are the two key things you need to be doing. So, you know, make sure you're asking yourself, is my distribution growing? And you know, for those of you that aren't really sure what distribution means, are you adding more followers on Facebook? Are you connecting with more people on LinkedIn? It should be a constant yes. It never stops. It's something that you hunger for. It's something that you continually push forward to. That's going to give you options as these things evolve, you know. And I think the people that aren't growing their distribution, they put themselves in a tougher position to get results because they don't have as many people they can influence for free very quickly. So let's talk about LinkedIn for a second. And you know, obviously LinkedIn has really evolved over the last year. You guys have probably noticed a tremendous amount of changes. They're actually making, you know, quite a few changes right now as we speak, and you'll probably see that happen. One of the things that I've always kind of preached is I've kind of said, look, social media, great way to get out in front of people. On the flip side, you don't want to solicit. Soliciting is always death with social media. You know, you immediately kind of deem yourself as someone who's selling something. And in my opinion, the consumer doesn't want to do business with those people. They want to do business with the experts, the gurus. So I've always preached, you know, when you're posting things on social media, always want to post things that kind of project you to be that go-to person. Well, I'm going to kind of change my tune for this specific scenario. So one of the new tools that LinkedIn gives us is what's called the Publish a Post tool. Okay, so you kind of have two options. You can, one, and I'm going to kind of put the one here, you can share an update. An update is what you would post on a daily basis. It's something simple. It's something that's going to show up on all of your connections LinkedIn feed, and as I scroll down here, we can kind of see some of the updates that have been shared, right? So that's where the share and update goes, and as I mentioned before, we don't want to solicit when sharing the update. We just come across as that kind of solicitor. But the second thing that LinkedIn has given us is kind of this like Publish a Post tool, and really what it is it's more of like a long-term, it's going to have more of a long-term effect. So a few things happen when you publish a post. One, you know, it does go out to all of your connections. And when I say it goes out, it'll actually show up here in the little flag area. You will, you know, I'm sure you guys see it now when you go to your LinkedIn profile. People you've connected with, they have published a post. And let's see, we can see one right here. You know, Liz Gallup's published a post on Medicare premiums, right? So it's kind of like a little bit of a blog, but my point is this. When you're publishing these posts, multiple things are happening. And step one is to understand what are the multiple things happening. Number one is it goes to all your connections alerts, their notifications, and they may view it. Number two is it actually gets stationed on your profile. So if we look at my profile, we can see a few that I've done, okay? Here are some published posts. I did one about, you know, social media and drip marketing. I did one about setting up a LinkedIn endorsement section of the profile. I did one about updating your LinkedIn summary section. So my point is when you publish these posts, they actually get put on your profile, which I think is kind of neat because long term, people may find them, you know, a few weeks from now, a few months from now. And the third thing that happens is that the post itself becomes completely search engine optimized, so that when people are searching on Google, they may actually find your post. Okay, they're not going to find your profile, but they'll find your post, which leads to your profile, which hopefully leads to your website. So here's where I'm going. What I'm suggesting you do in the fourth quarter is once a month, come up with publish a post. So if I click on it, you'll see that, it kind of gives you a few things. You can put like a little image in here, and then basically there's an area where you can just start typing. And they let you kind of clean up the text a little bit. You can bold it. You can do a few things. But what I want to see everybody do is I want to see you kind of become a little bit more aggressive from a marketing standpoint. So the main question is well, what should you post? And what I suggest you post is 2 paragraphs. 1, about a way you can help somebody, and 2, how these people can kind of contact you to help them and what you're going to do to help them. Now, that being said, what you should post should be something very specific. As you guys know, I always say broad is bad. And it should also be very relevant to maybe a scenario. Obviously, if you're involved in any type of open enrollment, whether it's Medicare or health insurance, this may be somewhat of a platform, right? Because it's now a relevant time. Open enrollment for Medicare has started. Open enrollment for ACA is 2 weeks away. So, maybe you kind of post something that says, hey, look, we specialize in helping people with Medicare, supplements, Advantage, blah, 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 blah. Here's how you help. Here's how you can get in contact with us. Here's our website. Here's our email address. Here's our phone number. It doesn't necessarily have to be some sort of incredible idea that you're coming up with. I'd like you to just kind of plant the seed that this is how you can help somebody for this scenario. 4 to 8 sentences, tops. Will it have immediate results? It might. But it also may have long-term results because, like I said, it's kind of going out there. So that is my suggestion on kind of like a monthly basis. Now, you want to do each month, every time you publish something, it's got to be different. We're not posting the same thing. We're posting different things. So you absolutely want to kind of post something different, something, again, that affects someone's scenario. Broad is bad. Niche is good, specific. And I think you'll be surprised on what type of action you get, especially internally on LinkedIn. And make no mistake, it may be that you're trying to recruit agents. It doesn't necessarily have to be product-based in the insurance industry. It can do with anything. Anything that people are kind of looking for that you're trying to help people with. I'd like to see once a month something like that be posted. I'd be happy to kind of review what you want to write. I'm not going to write it for you, but again, if you want to send it to us, we'd be happy to kind of review it and make some suggestions. So that's the first thing I'd like to see some focus on. The second thing is simpler, but just as important. Facebook just kind of released a whole new kind of endorsed business page kind of tool. And long story short, you want to make sure your business page is endorsed. So after today's webinar, if you get a chance, go to your Facebook business page, and up in the upper right here is a button called Settings. You want to click on that, and you want to make sure that you get yourself verified. So if you click on Settings, you will see that there is a page verification button. And I actually unverified myself just so I could kind of show you how it works. And what you do is you go in here, click on the Edit button, and click Verify this page, and it's real simple. It's going to pull your phone number from your page. Just click the Call Me Now. Facebook will call you. They'll give you a 4-digit code. You put it in, and your page gets verified. And again, they'll actually put a little stamp on your page that you're now a verified business page on Facebook. It just makes a lot of sense to do. It's a new feature that came out a few weeks ago. I highly suggest you utilize it. It'll take 2 minutes of your time, and it'll give you an edge on your competition. So again, just to kind of review, the fourth quarter is obviously everyone's busiest quarter. We're all working hard. It's very intense. On the flip side, the opportunities are higher on social media. So we have to kind of make time each day, at least 5 to 10 minutes, to make sure we're utilizing, we're marketing, we're growing our distribution, we're utilizing daily posting on Facebook and LinkedIn. I've been reviewing that lately. And we're utilizing at least once a month the Publish a Post feature on LinkedIn. And then, of course, we want to make sure we get our Facebook business page verified, which helps it show up more And I think if you do those few things, you're ahead of 95% of your competition. And that's always the key. Now, of course, we want to do these things efficiently. If you're wasting, 30 minutes on it, you've already kind of lost. We want to do it efficiently, have a system in place, and if we can do that consistently, we're going to grow our distribution and we're going to drip on people, which is the key. All right, guys, I'll put this on YouTube. Hopefully this was a quick, good, webinar, and next week we're going to talk a little bit more in detail, about some email marketing strategy tips that I think will help you in 2016. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.